So this is the latest LiTime battery, and it's actually sold out faster than any other battery they've ever sold in the past. And the reason being is that unlike their budget batteries, this one has low temp charging protection. It has a really good surge capacity of 500 amps for 1 second, and it has Bluetooth. And it also fits in a Group 24 spot. So it's not as small as a LiTime Mini, but it's pretty darn compact. And these handles fold down, so it fits in a very small spot. So it has a little bit of everything, but it does cost more. It's $379. So it costs the same amount as other batteries in this class with the same feature set. But it's a LiTime, and a lot of people like them now. So today we're gonna rip it apart and see how well it works. First test is charging. So we have 2 chargers pushing 100 amps into this battery, and it seems to work just fine. Let's crank this up and see if it has overcurrent protection for charging. 130. Look at that! It turned itself off. So it does have overcurrent protection for charging. Oh, and now it's charging again. We'll drop this to 100 amps and come back when it's done charging. Now the battery is at 100%. And we have a low frequency Victron inverter, so we're gonna hook it up and see what this thing can do. Now this is my car lift, but this inverter can only output 4,000 watt max surge. This requires 8 to 9,000. So I don't think it's gonna work, but let's try it anyways. And I've never tested this. This is the new Multi Plus Compact, or it's not new, but it's new for me. We'll measure the inrush. All right, here we go. It actually moved the lift. Whoa. All right, let's try it one more time. Nope. It moved it again though, that's pretty cool. Usually it doesn't budge, but it actually moved it like a little tiny bit. It said 500 amps, but yeah, this inverter cannot handle it. The max this can do is like 300 amp surge. I don't even have an inverter that can do 500 amps for a second. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find something that can do that. Oh, look at this, 290 amps. DC, guys, that is crazy. And that's almost the maximum that this thing can output. So yeah, this is more of a test of the inverter than the battery, but it's pretty impressive. I totally forgot I was measuring that. All right, so let's hook up the heat gun and see what happens. 120 amps. Let's see how long it can run this for. Oh, let's see if it turns itself back on, or if you have to like use a power supply. Oh, it turned itself back on. That's good. So now we're going to charge another LiTime battery with a variable output battery charger to get exactly 100 amps over here. So we're going to run this for some time and see if it can handle it. So it's been running the load, but I want to test the app and see how accurate it is. We've got a fluke meter, and this is the best way to test it. You have to register with an email? Really? Send a code. The verification didn't go through? I'll just use my Google account. Unsuccessful? Why? This app needs some work, you guys. You need to fix this thing. This is pathetic. Look at this. It shows 00002, and then there's a floating 2 down here. I think I missed it. So their email software is bad. There we go. Now it works. Why does it need my position? Seriously. Okay, it's connected. And now the app is connected, so it shows the state of charge, the current, the wattage, which is actually pretty nice, the nominal voltage, and current capacity. So let's see if the current is actually correct. 102 amps, 101.3, 100, 102, so it's off by about 2%. But that's the accuracy of these Hall effect sensor meters, or the clamp meters, so actually that makes perfect sense. Oh, 102 and 102, but this one fluctuates a lot, but this is a true shunt. It's a power resistor, and it measures the voltage drop across it, and that's how it figures out the current. So I would assume that this is more accurate. Now what's interesting is it says that it's balancing, but it doesn't tell you how much. It doesn't tell you the cell voltage differential. And then the cells, it doesn't tell you the cell voltages. It just says it's normal, which is nice because I get tons of beginners that obsess over their cell voltage. They're like, I need a balance, I need a balance. If you can pull full capacity, you do not need to balance. So this is actually probably better for most people. And you can even turn it off. There's a discharge switch in the app. which is pretty cool. And you can power it off. That's neat. But you have to charge the battery to turn it back on, so I'm not even going to mess with that. I want to use this thing. Let's turn it back on and see if everything turns on again. And it works. So now we're going to actually do the teardown. Everything seems to work just fine, but we need to get inside and test the low temp charging protection. By the way, this is my favorite LiTime. It's the trolling motor battery, and this has the best surge capacity. This BMS is crazy powerful. This thing's nice. I like multiplex, but it's very heavy. Holy cow. It's glued in there pretty good. I had to take it outside to get it out of that box. Okay, this is a big BMS for 100 amps. I think it's the same as their trolling motor. So they're almost the same BMS, but this one has the Bluetooth module. Everything else is the same. No wonder we almost pushed 300 amps. This is a fantastic BMS. This BMS actually did start the car lift previously. And I'm glad they're using it on this model. I was scared that it'd be a tiny little Bluetooth BMS, but this is a beefy BMS. Also, I did bend these cables and I did mess up this insulation when I was ripping this thing apart. So let's connect a charger and see if the low temp charging protection works. And the cells are the same as well. So now we're charging with 10 amps. This temperature sensor is actually glued and taped down. It's in there pretty good. Oh, this looks messy. Check this out. The Bluetooth module is just slapped on the side with a bunch of glue. They should have improved that design. I don't like that. Everything else looks pretty good. Pretty typical LiTime build quality. All right, now we have the sensor in the water. Oh, there we go. Oops, this voltage is way too high. All right, let's warm it up again. The FETs can handle that voltage though, it's not damaged. Now let's put in the ice again. And it works. Nice. So far, so good. I'm actually happy that they're using the same BMS because this is one of my favorite batteries of all time, especially for the price. So pretty impressive battery. It's pretty much a trolling battery, but with Bluetooth. And I think it's about the same price. Let's check. $309? This thing's on sale. This is a lot cheaper than this one. I never use Bluetooth. I would go for this any day. This is gonna be a video more about the trolling motor battery than this one. Yeah, would I spend 80 bucks for Bluetooth? Absolutely not. This one has low temp charging protection and an amazing surge. The only difference is this has Bluetooth. This might be a temporary sale though, because when this first came out, it was $369. So pretty much the same price as this one. And it makes sense because it's the same stuff on the inside. For whatever reason, they have it on sale, which is really cool. So overall, a pretty good test. One of my favorite batteries now has Bluetooth. I wish they called it the trolling motor with Bluetooth, but I get it. People care more about the group size. If you need a group 24, this is a good battery for you. But if you don't need that size and you want the surge capacity and the low temp charging protection and you don't care about Bluetooth, just buy one of these. You'll save $80. Now another thing you should consider though is if you're buying 4 of these, you're better off buying their large battery. They have a 460 amp hour battery and it's very easy to wire up. If you're wiring up 4 of these with all those cables, it's a big pain in the butt. It's better to have one large battery, and it also makes the Bluetooth system work better. Instead of checking every single individual battery in your system, you can just have one large battery. So I prefer that over all of these small batteries. But if you're trying to build a small system, or if you need a trolling motor battery, this is perfect for that. So I hope you liked the video, and that's pretty much all I can think of for reviewing these. Please let me know if you have any questions below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.